Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome today to a deck profile featuring Salamangreat and Gabe. So Gabriel-Soussi did an amazing feat. He destroyed everyone, man, with Salamangreat, a deck that we thought weren't in the meta anymore. And through clever deck building and crazy tech choices, he was able to do that. And if you guys have already watched my duel against Gabriel, you probably saw that he completely destroyed me. And if you haven't checked out that video yet, go check that out. But without further ado, Gabe, how are you, man?
I'm really good, and you?
I'm doing really well too. I'm really happy to have you on the channel, and so because that I think you're a really strong player, and you have a lot of knowledge that you can share to the community and the Yu-Gi-Oh player base. So I'm really excited to have you here and explain to you this deck, man.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here as well.
Awesome.
So do you want to start the profile?
Yeah, let's go right into it. So we have the hand traps, and what deck doesn't have hand traps in today's metagame, right? So okay, we have the 3 Ash Blossom, the 3 Infinite Impermanence, and the 3 Nibiru. So walk me through your process of why these hand traps specifically. Do you think that these were the hand traps for the format?
Yeah, I think these hand traps are the best one to play if you wanna try to interrupt Adamantipator and if you wanna be able to interrupt Sync Red Leash.
Yep.
So Infinite is the best one because it's the only one that is able to stop Adamantipator alone, I would say.
Yeah.
Because if they go on Guardian, you can still try to imperm the needle fiber. Sometimes it works.
Yeah.
So Imperm will be the best one.
Yep.
It's also good against the Sync Red Leash loop.
Yep.
Then Nibiru is also really good. When you have Imperm with it, it's really awesome.
Yeah.
And it has so much impact, so you gotta play it.
Yeah.
It helps you as well to take the board control sometime because Salamangreat is a little bit low on board control at the moment.
Yep.
And lastly, we have Ash Blossom, which is in this deck maybe the best one because you can take it back.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
But with the other deck, I don't think if I wasn't playing Salamangreat, I don't know if I would be playing Ash Blossom.
I see. Well, so what do you say is a better hand trap than Ash Blossom this format? Besides Infinite Impermanence and Nibiru.
I would say Valor.
Valor. Okay. Why Valor then? Why is Valor strong?
Because I think being a spellcaster, it helps a lot of deck to go on a needle fiber sealing loop.
Yep.
To go on access code.
That's true.
And also, it's just negating a monster effect is kind of the best thing you can do against Adamantipator.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
So it's kind of the same as Ogre. Ogre might be better in some weird matchup.
Yep.
But in general, you will prefer Valor if you wanna run the OTK stuff in your extra deck.
Gotcha. So, okay, before we keep going with the rest of the deck profile, man. So, I was reading some comments when this deck got, released by PPG, and people were commenting, right? They were like, "Yo, Gabriel, why are you sorting your deck, this way?" So, is there any thought process behind this deck sorting? Because we see here, we have the hand traps and we have the field spell, and Lady Debug. Was there kind of a methodical approach as you sorted this deck out?
Yeah, it's just to help how to understand deck list and help you to do math with it.
Yes.
So yeah, it's just you kinda put for example on the first line you will have the card that you're not using when you go first.
Right.
Kind of dead card or hand trap, so the field spell can go with them.
Yep. So Lady Debug.
No, first line.
Oh, first line. Yeah. Yep.
Then you'll have second line. You will have the starters.
Yep.
Third line, you will have the extenders or the engine PCs.
Yep.
And then you will have the traps, the back rows, the card that helps you going first. So yeah, it's just I made it very. It's not very clear because it will take really long to explain it.
No,
but it's just you gotta put your deck in an order so you can understand it better.
Yeah, I agree. And so I wanted to essentially point that out for everyone watching that the role of cards and the purpose that they serve is really important to determine And as you like start building your own decks, right, and like this goes beyond Salamangreats, like, right, like the conversation that like Gabe and I are having is essentially like, I guess we're trying to apply that to like everything, right, like deck building, you know, like card choices, like techs. And so like understanding like the role of cards is really, really important. So now I guess we'll get into like the second line, which you're like deeming as like your starters. So like explain to me like your choice of starters, and like for example, like I don't see like Flame Buffalo.
Yeah, so I prefer to go on debug this format.
Yep.
I don't think you can play more than 3 normal summon plus 3 signet mining.
Yep.
Like what I mean by a normal summon is either debug, buffalo, or farmer's keeper.
Yep.
Because in this format you need to play so many hand traps and so many cards to go first as well.
Yeah.
Which helps you to run the deck, and you still have to, which helps you, sorry, to beat Adamantipator and any deck that is really, like every deck are basically really powerful going second.
Yes.
You need these interrupts.
Yep.
Which helps you as well to play around Nibiru sometime if you open good. You don't have to overextend or anything.
Yep.
So yeah, you also have to run a little engine for grind game. So you do not have the space to play more than 3 normal summon. Before it depends on the format, but I was playing, for example, 3 buffalo and 1 debug, or 3 debug and 1 buffalo, just to have the possibility to add the other one with signet mining.
Right.
But here I did not have the space for it.
Yep.
So I was just playing 3 debug since it's the best one in this format.
Yep.
You really need to add Gazelle. It helps you playing around Nibiru.
Yeah.
It's also the only one that helps you to grind. Farmer's Keeper is trying to make if you play Farmer's Keeper, you're trying to make a Salamangreat 2 combo, 2 combo-ish.
Yep.
And then you just prefer to play Rocket then, if you wanna try to find a deck that is like Salamangreat but more combo.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and Buffalo is just not really good since there is no Stalio anymore, and you can't play a lot of cybers that you wanna discard this format.
Right.
Stalio, so when you summon the Buffalo, you will still be able to go on Stalio and make Gazelle everything.
Yep.
But here we don't have Stalio anymore. We have not the same ratio of cybers you wanna discard. There is no more like 2 Foxy, 2 Spinny instead of 3 of each.
Yep.
You don't have Fall, which could be discarded as well.
Yep.
So yeah, you just can't play Buffalo. It's gonna be bad in some cases.
Yeah, that math makes sense to me. I think it shows the importance of, like, Lady Debug is always live. Like, whenever you normal summon it, you'll always attempt to at least use the effect. Whereas, like, if you draw a Buffalo, sometimes you may not have an extra Cyberus in hand, right? So, like, it's just, like, that card might not always be live. You just make, like, Baling's Pass, which is not as good. At least, like, the Debug, you know, it either baits out the hand trap, or at least if it doesn't get hand trapped, then you just get Gazelle. And that just, like, helps so much, like, as you were mentioning, to play around Nibiru as well. That makes sense. Okay.
I'm seeing a lot of comments on the list saying that debug is getting interrupted by every hand trap of the format, like Vader, App, Imperm.
Yep.
But if you go, for example, on Buffalo and then you summon Gazelle, it's exactly the same thing.
Right.
But obviously you will be drawing 2, but Buffalo is gonna be dead a lot of the times.
Right.
And if you go on Far Keeper, it's exactly the same thing. Exede is gonna take the hand trap or a Gazelle.
Yep.
So he prefers to go on debug to, when it resolves, it's gonna be better than the other 2.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Better to run your giant.
Gotcha. And of course, like 3 signet mining, I think that's pretty standard. As far as like just helps you with consistency, and like the discard for most of the time is like a plus, like either dumping the traps or dumping like the, you know, like the Jaguar, Spinny, etc. Then you have like the 1 circle. You would probably play more if you could. The 1 Gazelle, and then double Foxy. So how good was Foxy for you?
Yeah, it's just it's really good because it helps you also to grind, obviously, because it's a name in the graveyard, which is another special summon every turn.
Yep.
Also, it can be normal summon. It has an effect on the normal summon.
Yep.
So you can put it as a normal summon card. That's why it's on the second line. And yeah, it helps you to grind. It helps you to destroy the opponent back rows and yours as well. If you need to destroy your own back rows, you can do it.
And like it's always so scary. Like whenever someone normal summons Foxy, I always like think, should I hand trap this card or should I not? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Is hand trapping Foxy correct, or does it more depend on the case by case basis?
Hand is too weak to play around the trap card or anything, then you might have to untrap it.
Yep.
to use a hand trap on it. But if you have a good hand or anything, it might be better to take the risk and wait the gazelle, because you can be punished really hard. So it just depends about your deck and
It's
what's your
just
hand.
gotcha. Okay, sounds good. 3 Parallaxy. So this is a new card out of Eternity Code. It's super sad it's a common, but you know, what was your thought process putting Parallax Seed into the deck? And was it as good as you hoped?
I would say that it's really good in this format, since Baguska is really impactful.
Yep.
And Dweller sometime as well. And
Yeah.
it depends on the
Yep.
So yeah, I like the card. I don't think it's mandatory in the deck. Like in Salamangreat in general, but in this format it's really good, because you need to be really proactive turn 0.
Yep.
Otherwise the opponent deck is gonna destroy you, because there's so much power creep at the moment.
Yeah.
So maybe after the ban list you won't need to play it anymore.
Yep.
It will depend on the format. I think if the format is more control,
Yep.
with the back row decks and
Yep.
etc., Exede is gonna be a weird card to play,
Right.
since you will have to keep the Bailings on field. If they destroy the Bailings, you lose the Bailings, and the Exede is not able to resolve,
Yep.
etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, helps you to play around Nibiru as well. So really good card.
That's true. Then you have double Will of the Salamangreat. I've seen people play this card at 3 before, just because it's a really, really strong extender. So what was your thought process, like, you know, playing Will at 2 and playing Will in general?
So Will is a card that I started playing more than a year ago.
Yep.
At the time nobody was playing it, and it was a mistake, I think.
Yep.
Then it was played at 1, then at 2, then at 3, and nobody was really really okay on what is the real ratio to play.
Right.
But right now it's kind of different than before, because Will is Exceed can be compared to Will
Yep.
in some situations. So it's not like you're playing 2 Will, you're more playing like 5 extenders, I would say.
Yeah.
So like sometime Will is gonna be better, sometime Exceed is gonna be better.
Yep.
But yeah, I think Will is a card made to be played at 2.
Yep.
Now that Salamangreat is weaker than before, because before you could play at 3 because your engine was running so well, and you could afford to have a dead card in your opening hand.
Right.
But now kind of different. It's more of a combo pieces.
Yep.
So yeah, 2 seems to be the good ratio for me.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. And then you have double Jaguar. I think this makes sense for me, but I think most people play Jaguar at 1. So you decided to play 2. Is that just for like desires, or what was your thought process for that?
So so same thing as Will. Long time ago people was playing it at 1.
Yes.
But then because I was playing Desire, and because I was playing because the format was Sky Striker at the time.
Yep.
I thought I needed another one just to be able to play if I banish the first one, or if my opponent used Shark Cannon on my Jaguar, I want to be able to have a second one for the grand game. That was why it has been played at 2 later on.
Yep.
But now it's kind of different. It's just because it's a really good normal summon in the deck. It's a really good grand game piece.
Yep.
And also it's like being a level 4 is really useful.
Yeah.
And if I want to open one Salamangreat, except like the debug, the signet, etc., it's gonna be always Jaguar.
Yeah.
Card is too strong, so yeah, I will 2 is really.
Yeah. That's true. Then you have double Spinny. So did the 500 attack buff ever came up? And
Yeah.
like how was Spinny?
Spinny is good. The 500 bonus can help you with a lot of situations. I don't have any in mind because it's like so rare.
Yeah.
But it helps you to beat over a Nibiru's token, or to beat over a monster you could not. You can
Yeah.
also use Spinny on a monster that attack twice, so it makes 1,000 damages instead of 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more useful. This effect is more useful to put Spinny in the graveyard.
Right.
But yeah, um, I was thinking about playing one,
Yep.
but you need two for the grind game, and this kind of card that you need to put in your graveyard at a moment or another, you kind of want to play it at two because of
Right.
desire.
Yeah.
So yeah, two Spinny for now. If the
Gotcha.
format gets harder for Salamangreat, I will maybe playing one.
Yep.
If the format is a little bit slower, I would play three. So yeah, it just depends.
Gotcha. And then Falco, man. Yo, I've seen you do the craziest big brain plays with Falco, man. I'm surprised this card's at one. So can you just explain to the people watching like why Falco is like really, really strong? Or maybe why it's not.
So yeah, Falco is really strong.
Yep.
So when you get your engine going,
Yep.
when you're in a grind game spot, it's gonna be the best one of the Salamangreat.
Yep.
Maybe better than Gazelle because it helps you to bring back Gazelle every turn.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just the problem with Falco is that you want to see it only when your engine is already going.
Yeah.
That's when you play. That's what you play. You play it at one.
Right.
The only time you want to see it is when you decide to see it, when you pick it by yourself, not by drawing it,
Yep.
or when you send it with Gazelle.
Right.
So you don't really want to see it at two, to see it too often. So you really want to play it at two,
Right.
and you don't want to normal summon it. So yeah, only one, unfortunately.
Gotcha. And then, of course, man, the spicy tech of the deck that I didn't see coming for sure in the tournament. I lost a game just to this card, but Gozen match. So why did you decide to play Gozen match this format?
So I discovered the card the last format
Yep.
with Salah. Because of Stalio being banned, the deck needed a little bit more of card advantage,
Mm-hmm.
and Gozen can give you that by being in Floodgate, so it helps you to handle the opponent on several turns, and you can run your engine to flood him.
Yep.
So yeah, last format it was Altergeist, Salamangreat,
Yep.
Shadow formats, and
Yep.
Spiral.
Yep.
And because Stalio wasn't there anymore, you needed that card to run your engine, and we found it already.
Yep.
And so when I was testing Salah for this format, obviously I was testing the card as well since it was good at the last format, and it's really good right now still because everyone's going on needle fiber. You can lock them into an attribute they can't play with.
Right. That's true.
Also, when you go second, it's a good trap in general. It's better than another one.
Yep.
And you need that slot to be a card to go first, and a card that is playing around Nibiru as well.
That's
so
true.
yeah, Gwen is just a really good card for them.
Yeah, and I saw that, like, for example, I Nibiru'd you, I think in round 7, and you flipped Gozen match on me, which was like so crazy because now I'm locked into light monsters, and I don't play a single light monster in my deck except Nibiru. So that was really, really like crazy because if you do get Nibiru'd, right, like you can lock your opponent out of just like playing, like they have to like summon like light monsters. So like if they Nibiru you while they're playing the rock deck, right, like their monsters are all earth. Like they just can't play under Gozen if they Nibiru'd you. So it's so strong. Yeah.
Yes, it's really good. You just need to kill your own token. So there's two ways to do this.
Yep.
You can open Rage, you can open Wheel
Yep.
to special summon a fire after they Nibiru you.
Yep.
Or you can keep Gazelle in hand if you open, for example, Debug Exede or something like that.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so many ways to play around Nibiru with this deck.
Yep.
If you play the Format Keeper things, for example, you just can't. If you play the Microcoder,
Yep.
you can't. You gotta understand that every deck in the meta is playing 3 Nibiru right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It means that if your deck, maybe it's gonna be more powerful when you resolve everything with the Microcoder, with the Format Keeper.
Yep.
But if you lose like 1 out of 3 games because of Nibiru, then it's not worth it.
That's true. I agree. Yeah, you just get cheated out of so many games just because one Nibiru resolves, even though it might be more powerful. Of course. And then you have double rage, double roar. So This is something that's always been interesting to me because I've seen Sally players either choose to play one Rage, one Roar, or like 2 and 1, but you decided to play 2 and 2. So walk me through that process.
So it's just really good to see one either going first or going second.
Yep.
In your opening hand.
Yep.
At the long time ago, last year, you wanted to play 1-1 because there was Stadio, there was 3 circle, 3 gazelle, so you could set up a trap like really easily.
Yep.
And there was no Nibiru, so it was just really free to put a trap with the gazelle effect on the field.
Yep.
But now because your engine is weaker, you need to play more. So 2-2 seems to be correct. You don't want to be playing too much. You want to be able to choose one or the other in your deck, even if you banish them with desire. It's just a really good way to grind game with the opponent.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, like Rage pop 2 every turn is kind of annoying. Man,
Yeah.
it's so insane. And then, oh man, the most, I guess I don't want to call this the most controversial card in the deck, but people have a love and hate relationship with desires, man. Like people call this a neg 11 sometimes. So explain to me like desires, like why did you decide to play this card? And is it as good as people say it is?
So at the time it wasn't needed. I think it was good to play still, but now that the deck is lacking consistency, you really need to play it.
Yep.
So before it was a card that helps you to push into boards against Arcus, against so it was last format obviously, against Arcus, against sometime Altergeist or any other deck, and going first it was helping you to put more resources on the field. But now it's more a card of consistency. You really need it to see your Salamangreat engine. Also it's good because all your deck is kinda weak to Ash, I would say. And Desire being really good. So either it's a bait for Ash or you bait Ash first and then you resolve it. It depends on your hand. So yeah, I just really like the card. It's really good in the deck. I think that every deck that can play it should play it. So yeah, it just depends.
So there's been a huge debate in the community about 2 or 3 desires. So what are your thoughts on this? Because this has been a widely debated topic, right? Like people are like 2 desires. I want to see, I want to banish the other one and don't draw into one. So what are your thoughts on this?
No, I think it's not a real thing. It's just people are kidding about it. To be honest, it just depends. When you need consistency in your deck, you obviously play 3. It has no sense to play 2, in my opinion. But in some deck, it would be correct to play 2. For example, at the time in True Draco, you will play 2 because you draw so much that you're more likely gonna see the second, and you never resolve 2 in the game. You don't really need the third one. So it just depends. In some decks also it's not gonna be a consistency card, it's gonna be a push card, to push more resources. And then it can be like it's not about playing 3 anymore, because it's with other cards. For example, if I play the card as an extender, if I would say as a card to go second to help me push through boards, then I would be playing 2, and I would associate them with Wheel and Exede. I don't know if it makes sense.
No, it makes sense. I understand what you're saying. It just depends on what role does this card serve in your deck, and that determines whether or not you would play 2 or 3.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. And mostly it's a what?
Mostly 3, I would say, if you want an answer.
Okay, fair. Well, you guys heard it here first, man. Gabriel-Soussi came out and said it, guys. Desires at 3, all right? Stop playing 2, guys. Just joking. But anyways, we'll go right into the extra deck. So this is a very unique extra deck now because I think we've gotten a lot of new cards that are Cyber's support. So I guess we'll start off on the left side with like the rank 4 package. That's really, really easy to make now with Parallel Exceed. So we have obviously Dweller, but then Baguska, man. I didn't expect this card, to be honest, when you made it. I totally forgot this card exists. So do you want to just remind people again what this card does?
Yeah, so it has 2 effects, but you will only use the one when it's in defense mode. So when it's in defense mode, every monster goes to defense mode if it can,
Yep.
and every monster that is in defense mode have its activated effect negated. So it's
Right.
basically if you like, it's like if you use impermanence on every monster on the field,
Yeah.
even if they use, for example, Pancratops effect, it's gonna be negated still.
Yes. Yep.
So yes, it's a really good card against Adamantipator, mostly because they have to go on Cerberus if they want to out it.
Yep.
And then if you any other back row, it's usually gonna be enough to stop their turn, and then you can either kill them or grind game with them. So yeah, it's just a really good rank 4 in the format.
Yeah. No, and it's absolutely insane. Like, yeah, for them to out this card, it's really, really tough. Then you have, man, I think, tell me if I'm wrong, but is Access Code Talker not the best card in the deck?
Yeah, it's a really good card, but the deck will be playable without it. It will not change a lot.
Yeah.
So basically, the first OTK combo that was played in the deck.
Yep.
Before everything.
Yep.
Boral Load was played.
Yep.
With updates. Because you could make it attack twice with the update jammer.
Yeah, double take.
That was the play you would do.
Yeah.
But at the time I was testing update transcode, the combo.
Yep.
And so I was kind of the first playing it, and then it was kind of more of a standard. Everyone was kind of playing it.
Yep.
Then Samir upgraded the combo by adding bomber, topologic bomber.
Yep.
So it could make bomber attack twice on Colossus and everything, so it was really powerful.
Yep.
Then I upgraded it again by instead of bomber, I was playing Zeroboros.
Yeah.
Marcus played.
Yep.
So it could get to 5,000 attack and
attack twice,
banish everything. Attack twice, etc.
Yeah.
You were playing Desire, they were playing Gizmek, etc. So it was really powerful.
Yeah.
To steal games. But now we just have a better card than all the others, which is Access Code, which is basically, even if they have 5 monsters, you will be able to destroy every of them. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
The card is just, I think it's better to Boral Sword.
Yeah.
To be honest. So, it's really strong.
It's just so crazy. And I think the way you play Access Code Talker is so different than other players because you actually make it co-link to TRANSCO Talker. Like, I've noticed this in, like, when I was reevaluating, like, our gameplay. Like, you actually, like, would co-link it with TRANSCO Talker so it can get Veilered. Because it can technically get Veilered on the resolution after the summon is successful. And so I see that, and I'm like, oh, my God, he's actually about to just pop everything, and they can't respond, and it can't be targeted. So it's just crazy. So it's really, really strong for sure. Then Lingeribo, bro. What is this? I was like, Jesus. I think I saw you summon this card just to play around Elec, actually. I think it was in top 4. But this card, explain to people what this card does and why you decided to play it.
So basically, the summoning condition is the same one as Balinks.
Yep.
When your opponent activates a trap card, you can tribute it as a cost, and your opponent, the trap card is negated and banished.
Yeah.
So at the time, so we discovered the card when it came out. So it was a Spiral Altergeist format.
Yes.
And the card was just really good against Altergeist, and also because of Heavenly. The format was everyone siding in Heavenly when going second.
Yes.
And you could make it so you can keep your roar if they Heavenly you.
Yep.
So yeah, that was just the plan. And now because of Head Dish, it just helps you to OTK them when you make your access code plays.
Right.
And as a grind game stuff, it's just really good as well.
Right.
So yeah, it's just mandatory thing. It do something that your deck is not doing. So you just gotta play it.
Right. And like in the grind game, this card actually negates and banish, which is like really critical, especially against the Elec mirror or like the Elec match, so that they don't actually get that resources. So it's really, really strong for sure. Of course, then you have like triple Balinks, Balinks Bay, I guess. So triple Balinks, double Heat Leo. I think this is standard. Triple Sunlight Wolf. And then Splash Mage, man. I think this card came out of Eternity Code as well. So a lot of really good stuff coming out of Eternity Code. So explain to people what this card does and why you opted to play this.
So on spare turn, you can target one Cyberse in your graveyard, and you can summon it in defense mode.
Yep.
So it's a good card to grind game sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it can help you to make the transcode combo to put access code on field.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're a little bit low on resources to do the transcode play.
Yep.
But with Splash Mage, you only need 2 monsters.
Yeah.
I would say that it was the weakest card of my extra deck.
Yep.
But I don't see any card that I could play instead.
Okay.
Maybe now Salamangreat is more represented. You wanna be able to play Hita, but I'm not even sure.
Yep.
So yeah, it can. I think it's a good card to play.
Yep.
I might be changing it, but I don't think so at the moment.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense. And then you have Transcode Talker, though. I guess this was like the OG Transcode Talker. I don't really know my card history, but was this not the first Code Talker? Or I guess it was Decode Talker, maybe. But so
it was Decode.
okay, it was Decode. Gotcha. So Transcode Talker, man, this is like a card way back when I guess Salad first came out, right? Like this was like what was being played. I think you were the one who like helped, I guess, popularize this within the metagame. But yeah, this card is really, really insane. There's not much to say about this. But the fact that when it becomes co-linked, the co-linked monsters actually can be targeted. Did that really come up for you a lot, or no?
Yeah, it's really it's part of the reason why it's really good. Obviously,
Yeah.
Your opponent can't Valor you. Your opponent can't use Imperm. Your opponent can't he can't do anything.
Yeah.
When you're playing against other guys, for example, he just can't out transcode if it's co-linked.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's
Really, really strong.
it's just a good card. If the card did not exist, I don't think Salamangreat will be good.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I don't think it will be, good enough to be played in this format.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you can put a board and then you can use your grind game ability to be sure to OTK them at some point.
Yep.
It's just really, really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's maybe the best card of the extra deck.
Gotcha. And did you ever miss like a second one? Did it ever come up in like the grind game where you're like, oh man, I really need a second access code? Or was it more of like whenever you went access code or transcode talker, you already knew that like game was kind of like secured?
Yeah. So obviously I'm trying to be sure that when I summon my transcode to do the OTK play,
Yep.
I'm 100% sure that it's OTK.
Yep.
But sometimes you can't be sure, so you go on transcode. But if you get, for example, if you can play around Nibiru with the OTK because you don't have roar or anything,
Yep.
and your only way to win is still to try it.
Yep.
Then you go on it. But if you get Nibiru, you lose anyway. So it's not really. A second one never came up for me.
Gotcha. It's I get what you're saying. It's better for you just to attempt that and have like a percentage of winning and then better bank on them having it, or you just lose anyways if you don't attempt this. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's it.
And then Update Jammer, bro. This card is insane, man. So Update Jammer lets you attack twice if it's used as link material, right?
Yep.
And did the first effect ever come up where like during the damage calc?
Yeah. So basically, when it was like 1 year ago or something like that, like last format, for example,
Yep.
the first effect of update was really, really good and really used every game.
Yep.
For example, so the first reason I was playing the combo back in the days was because Sunlight plus Transcode plus update was OTK on Shizuku with Ryan in the graveyard.
Oh, wow.
Through Encore, through everything, because it's not targetable or anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really good. But now it's kind of different. Because update is not staying on the field a lot anymore because you want to do access code with them.
Yep.
But the first effect is still usable because it burns. If you attack a monster at the start of the damage step, you can make the attack back to original.
Yep.
The two of the two monsters that are fighting.
Yep.
And if your one is winning, you burn your opponent for 1,000 damage.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just helps you to OTK through defense mode monsters.
Yeah, 100%. And now, man, the side deck, man. Let's see what you have here. So you have Triple Valor, which I think you mentioned was probably one of the best hand traps in the meta because you can like go Noodle Fiber, go Celine, and then Transcode. And then you have Phantasme, man. So we see this like way back when, right? Like where Salamangreat's actually main Phantasme, but I think that was just a different format because like Striker was running rampant and everyone was like link summoning. But so what are your thoughts on Phantasme this format? Why did you decide to side this card?
So it's not a hand trap to me.
Okay.
It's just a really good card if you go second against a lot of decks. So yeah, you just want to be able to play it to just be sure that you have a good hand if you resolve it. It can draw a hand trap sometime, but it's not why you're playing it. It's just a really good card to go second.
Right. Gotcha. And then Ghost Ogre, man. I don't think I expected this card either. When I minstreled you, I saw your hand. I'm like, wait, this guy has Ghost Ogre in his opening hand. What's happening? So, what are your thoughts on Ogre, and why did you decide to play it?
So, Ogre first. It was Mourner.
Yeah. Okay.
The ghost girl, but we decided that it was kind of doing the same thing against Headless Synchro and against Adamantipator.
Right.
But Ogre was better against some matchup where we had no side card for it. For example, Guru or other decks like that.
Okay.
Because we have so many cards that are really bad in the main deck against back row decks.
Yeah.
So we wanted that hand trap to be a side deck card for the control deck as well.
Yeah.
So Ogre was better.
Man, I'm so like PTSD from getting Ogre on my like protocol, man. This card is really, really strong for sure. Like, especially if you're like, like use Hidden City effect to like flip up something. Like you just get Ogre on Hidden City. You just like don't expect those things, and so like I can definitely see where like a lot of players can definitely get punished by Ogre, just because they just don't expect it. Like especially the back row decks. Then you have Imperial Order, man. So was this card like just insane? Did you draw it a lot? Obviously this card is like insane, but like did you draw it?
So I don't think I resolved it once.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. But I'm not saying it a lot. It was just so before it was the third Ogre.
Yeah.
But because of Sky Striker winning.
Yep.
Shout out Ryan.
Yeah.
Because of Sky Striker winning, I think Order is just a card that's gonna make you win games against Sky.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
why I'm not in my side deck. It's also really good if you know that your opponent's playing a lot of spell cards. So it's just really good card to win with.
No, yeah, 100%, man. This card is FTK against Striker. Yeah. Then you have Cosmic Cyclone. I guess this was just to respect like the back row deck, right?
Yeah, just because it's not a card you're gonna side against the best deck of the meta. It's just that you need this card in your side deck against because you're not gonna play against only Adamantipator. So.
Right. That makes sense. And then summon limit. So this is like the other set of floodgates that you decide to like use, but this was actually in the side deck instead of the main deck. So why this in the side deck over Gozen match, for example, and why summon limit over like any other potential floodgate? Was this just like the best one? I know Tikaboo obviously you can't play, but
yeah. So it's just that you play so well around it with your engine.
Yeah.
You don't really summon more than 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
Also it's just that it applies it stays on the field, so you don't really need, because the problem with the deck is that you're gonna miss card advantage sometime.
Yep.
Because you're not doing a lot of stuff turn 0.
Yep.
When you see that, for example, Adamantipator is going plus a billion going first, so you need cards to try to compete with them.
Yep.
It's kind of sad that Salamangreat has to play floodgates. So even if Gozen not really a floodgate, it's really interesting to play with. But for example, summon limit is kind of sad. But it's just really it's a really good card to go first with. And
it's not much to say about this. I mean, like I played this when I was playing Pure Elic, and this card just stopped turns. Like it was just like nothing else. And they can't even make Phoenix to out it just because like that would be the third summon. So yeah, 100%, man. Well, before we conclude this interview, Gabriel, do you want to give any shout-outs?
Yeah. So I want to shout out the group I play tested with this format.
Yep.
S7. So Secret 7. So I was not playing a lot because I was kind of depressed that the game was not the in real life game was kind of not dead, but wasn't able to be played.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was feeling better these last days, so I was kind of okay with playing the game, and they helped me to recover.
Yep.
Yeah, so then I brought up the list to Yoshi and Ryan,
Yep.
who decided to Yoshi decided to play it as well at the LCS number 3.
Yep.
He made the top 32 with it.
Yep.
And yeah, so big shout outs to them as well, Ryan and Yoshi, for helping me what I need to.
Yeah. No, that was awesome. Yeah, yeah. They're really, really awesome people as well.
Mm.
And yeah, sounds good. So I guess we'll conclude this interview. Thank you so much, Gabriel, for taking the time to come on this. Please let me know in the comment section below what you would like to ask Gabriel, right? Because you know, he'll read the comments and he'll see what you guys have to say as well. Do you think that Salad is capable of, you know, being meta relevant again, right? So that's like my question for you guys. Let me know in the comment section below, and please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.